بالشهر نهبنا قتل بيوتنا نهبل ما عندنا شيء نلبس والله العظيم.
هدلكم بيوتكم؟
هدين كلي ما عندنا شيء. هون نشرب مي بنطر الدنيا بنقعد عند الجماعة.
ايه
نقعد نسهر عندهم. اشو بيهون والله العظيم ولا خلانا نقعد دقيقة بالبيت. هو بشار الأسد واطي طيرت نسقطوا بهالصرماي. والله أكبر.
As we talked before, we will have a demo on January 11th in many possible cities with lights and pictures with the same mottos like "Stop the war in Syria," "Your silence is killing Syrians," or "War criminals should be prosecuted to ICC." Nowadays we are making some posters to publish them through Facebook and Twitter to let people know about the situation in Syria. On Saturday, January 11th, after global demonstrations, we will present a letter to embassies in the countries which are participating with us in our demo and ask for referral of war criminals to International Court of Justice. Friends, did you know that there are many cities are under siege in Syria, and in these cities people are dying of hunger there. For example, in Al-Houta and Al-Yarmouk camp in Damascus, there are many children died because of lack of food and medical supplies.
So yeah, I mean, I think that with hunger, when I was in college, I did this 36-hour famine where we raised money and raised awareness about poverty and hunger across the world. And I did this by fasting for 36 hours. And I didn't eat, I didn't drink, and it was very difficult. But at the same time, I grew up in the suburbs of Texas. I can't honestly ever experience true hunger where you don't have food or very little, and it's cold and it's hard. I can't. It's just impossible for me to experience that.
شو عم تاكل؟
عم باكل ورق، ما في لا اكل ولا شرب، ولا الرزق 9000 ليرة. ما في لا أمن ولا شغل، لو في شغل ما اكلنا هالورق.
وين ابوك وامك؟
انا ابوي ميت وامي عايشة، وعندي اخوات بنات صغار.
بعضية الشام ولا زال العالم يتفرج.
Winter is usually very cold in Syria. As meteorologists say, this winter is the coldest winter since ages.
Syria has been going through one of the harshest winters it's had in a very, very long time. For Syria, this is a new front in the war, I think. I spent the last winter in the UK, and it's something to look forward to. December's a wonderful, beautiful time of year. Everyone wants a white Christmas. In Syria, it's just an absolutely terrifying prospect.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in Canada and it's super cold during winter, but at least we have heating systems. So when you go inside, it's in the mid-20s and you can be cozy and warm. And last week there was a huge ice storm and tens of thousands of people lost their electricity. But at least communities set up little heating centers in community centers and things, and so people could go there, warm up, whereas in Syria this wouldn't be an option or a reality.
Syrian people use diesel for heating in traditional ways, and they use electricity for heating in modern ways, like air conditioners. But nowadays they have no electricity and no diesel, so they can't warm themselves. They can use alternative ways, but also they don't have clothes and blankets. So that many people in Syria and in the camps in Jordan and Lebanon were dead because of being cold.
So, are you sure about that?
Yes. It's unimaginable.
So I know that with electricity in Syria that there are cuts, and so are these cuts, are they regular, are they sporadic, are they expected? Do you know when they're going to happen?
In some areas, electricity cuts last for several days, but in other areas, they last for several hours daily.
So it must be really hard to communicate, at least stay in touch with your friends and family, right? Because if you don't have, if you don't have electricity, you don't have internet, can't use the phone, so how does that work?
Nowadays, I can't make connection with my family because of electricity cuts and loss of connection, so that I still worried about them for days because they are in areas that are shelled by regime.
Yeah, and speaking of communication, I mean, journalists have a very hard time getting into Syria, and then of course if they do get in, they face huge risks. And that means that the news has a very hard time getting out and to reach a global audience. And that means that people's stories, stories of their daily struggles, just go by unknown and unnoticed.
واحد راسه طاير، واحد ايده طايرة، واحد مرة بابا
And it's interesting because that's what began it all, right? A Syrian wanting to express himself. So what exactly started the revolution?
What happened exactly that there were 4 children in Daraa drew some gravity on a school's wall. Then the intelligence security services arrested them and tortured them. Then our revolution started in Daraa, then spread to other cities. Our aims or our goals in the revolution was freedom and expressing our opinions in a freely way without anything, and living in dignity and to take our basic human rights. That's it.
بس أفهم ليش عم بضربني؟ يعني أكمل أوعى الضعيف؟ بس هيك كو حجر طار بنا كرتون عبطور من بنا حجر طالعنا ولاد عمي شباب واحد عم بصلي هيك ساجد عم بصلي كان كلهم مش ما أحلاهم ريحة المسك طلعت منهم